Hey guys, just thought we'll show one quick follow-up video. If you remember a couple of weeks back, maybe a month back, I put one Alesis Samplepad video where I tried putting in 16 kb mono samples, pretty much 44.1k samples for Tabla and Mridangam in the Alesis Samplepad 4, and we were able to replicate Mridangam sounds, right? So just thought we'll do one step further on that. That involves like pretty much on an SD card, have the samples in, and you can just play pretty much on your Alesis Samplepad. So pretty much on that, like I just thought like explore that more, where take a similar experience where use an MPX8. This is how the MPX8 looks. This is Akai's MPX8, where you have the sample sounds that can be put in the SD card, or it does come with some few samples as well. Again, the same 16 K samples, pretty much mono samples, 44.1 kilohertz, 16-bit samples, pretty much wave samples, right? So in this video, what I thought is like MPX8 does allow you the MIDI in as well. So like I just thought I will plug in a KMI BopPad, which is Keith Macmillan BopPad, which has a very good touch sensitivity. So I just thought like put the samples in here, try to replicate, if you can replicate a couple of sounds. Like what we are trying to do is like we're trying to replicate Indian drums, Mridangam and Tabla. So like especially with Indian instruments, like where we have different shrutis or pitches, where like C, C sharp, G all contribute to all correspond to certain kinds of instruments or separate instruments which you'll have to carry. Like that can be mitigated, especially if you want to practice stuff. So what I'm going to do with this in this video is I put the samples for C, C sharp, G for Tabla and Mridangam. So I'll play some of those in the MPX8, and now I have a MIDI in with BopPad as well, and I'll play the same samples pretty much through the MPX8, but from the BopPad this time. So what this does is like you can get rid of computers or DAW, digital audio workstations, pretty much have the sounds saved in your MPX8, replicate pretty much from any controller, any MIDI controller. So let's see how it is. So this one is pretty much, as I said, like this is an Akai. So it gives you a flexibility of putting your own kits. So these are the default kits. So these are default kits. So like I just went ahead by putting in some samples, pretty much Tabla samples. The one is Tabla G. So let's see how it sounds, right? So I'll keep it this way, maybe. So like if you're a regular finger drummer, yes, it makes more sense to play with this. But especially if you come from a background where you're used to playing a drum instrument with something like a drum, so like a BopPad gives a very good flexibility. So it has a good touch sensitivity pretty much, and you can I wired this BopPad with this is the Keith Macmillan Instruments BopPad. I wired this to a KMI MIDI expander. So the MIDI out is pretty much going to the MIDI in of the Alesis Samplepad. So the same sound, whatever we tried there, if I have to replicate here, so let me just increase the volume. So this has, as I said, like this has a very good touch sensitivity, BopPads. So for every quadrant with MIDI 10 channel output, I have just connected this through my KMI, expanded to the MIDI in of that MPX 8. BopPad does allow you to save or produce multiple sounds from the same quadrant, rather two sounds from each quadrant, which I have not tried, but I think that should also work. But in this case, I have 4 quadrants connected to the 4 sounds that those were there in MPX 8. So let's see, like if I can replicate another sound, say like the first one was Mridangam. All it takes is, it's so easy. Just go here, select your kit, pretty much rotate the kit, and load the sample. So in this case, let's see, like maybe we can play a Mridangam. So if I have to play a Mridangam, okay. So this is a Mridangam. So let me just give it a shot here. So let me reduce the volume. So my MPX is connected to my mono output to the PA. So like you have the left and right outputs as well. So you can connect this to the audio headphones as well. So as you see, like it's not very comfortable drumming a Mridangam or Tabla pretty much on the MPX 8. Yes, I can understand if you're used to regular 808s, kicks, or snares, or crashes, or regular drum beats. It's pretty easy to play with an MPX 8 or even a 16 or any other drum pad. But with traditional Indian instruments, especially with which has both the hands, pretty much you use pretty much on multiple quadrants and stuff like that. Like MPX 8 pad as such may not allow you to do that. So that's where this BopPad can come in really good. So what we are doing is, like, it's the same sound. I have not touched anything. Just that, like, I have a MIDI out connected to the MIDI in of my MPX 8 for the same sound now. So if you have to play the Mridangam now, so your sound is as good as your samples, and your sound is as good as your speakers. So that's pretty much. I really find this interesting. At least more. I more like a music explorer. I feel it's a good thing to try. Good thing to practice instead of playing all the Mridangams. Nothing comes close to playing a real instrument. Trust me. But if you want to explore, if you want to practice, if you want to play this as an additional instrument, this has a very good potential. So again, Alesis Samplepad does really good. I somehow feel this goes a little better, especially with the BopPad, with touch sensitivity, as I said, how sensitive it is. It is very good. Let me know how it is. Leave your comments there. Thanks. Bye.